I'm reporting to you from the well-booked headquarters for the last 2 days, my warm and cozy bed. It is about 20 degrees outside, which means that my drafty townhome is freezing and the only warm place is my bedroom and my warm and comfy bed. But also providing some heat are the steamy romances that I read over the last few days. I mentioned in a video recently that I didn't used to like romance, but I haven't really read a lot of romance. Most of the romances I read were probably books that were chosen for me in a book club. But I'm here to confess to you that I just read 3 romances and I actually liked all of them, so let's talk about it. So the first one is The Soulmate Equation by Christina Lauren. I wanted to read this ahead of Lovelit, which Christina Lauren will be there, and I found out that she is 2 people. These are 2 friends that write books together, which I thought was kind of cool. So this book follows a male main character. He runs a dating service. But it's a little bit unique and different from, your standard Hinge or Bumble in that you provide a spit sample and then they analyze your DNA against everyone in the database and they look for ways that you're compatible and you get a match based on what percentage your DNA aligns against all these different categories that have shown that you will make a compatible match. The female main character meets River, the guy who created this dating service, and her friend kind of talks her into providing a sample, and she gets a 98% match with River, the founder of the company. Well, they hate each other. So the story follows these 2 deciding to explore, are they actually a match? Is there something to this DNA? Or is there more to choice? Can data and science really determine love? I enjoyed this unique premise in the science aspect of it, and I thought it was a really sweet story. It just felt like a warm hug to me. I really liked all of the characters. And funny enough, I figured out that I had bought this book too, The Love Experiment, or The True Love Experiment, by the same author. And I didn't even realize it's actually a follow-up to the first one. It follows one of the supporting characters and her love story. So looking forward to reading that one. The other 2 romance books that I read, I think will be a little bit familiar to you all. The Heated Rivalry series. I read the first one, Game Changer, and Heated Rivalry. I have to confess that I was really expecting not to like this. I feel like a lot of times when something's really hyped, I end up not liking it. But I did actually really enjoy this series, and I definitely plan to continue. There's 4 more. But first, I'm going to watch the show because it's been driving me crazy seeing all these videos. And I really wanted to read it before I started the series. So I'm going to watch the series and then I'm going to finish the books. I have a hard time articulating what it was exactly I liked about these books. I think the thing that I liked about them is in the few romances that I've read, it's been between, a female and a male. And so the story usually involves maybe a little bit of their backstory, but it's mostly the 2 of them falling in love. Whereas these 2 stories, the romance starts right off the bat. Doesn't necessarily mean they're in love with one another right off the bat, although I did feel like they kind of did fall in love really quickly. But it really is more about their struggles, their sacrifices. There's a lot more depth to it, I feel like, than a typical straight couple romance. Again, I haven't read a lot of romances, so I'm sure there's probably a lot more out there that have plenty of depth. I just really enjoyed the characters a lot and their development, especially Heated Rivalry, since it follows their romance over such a long time and their struggles with their feelings for each other. I just really enjoyed that. I will also say there's probably a lot more spice than I needed. I tend to be more of a light on the spice kind of gal, but that didn't take away from the story. And also, I listened to these on audio. I know a lot of people said that the audio was terrible. I will admit that Kip's accent in the first one really bugged me. But I got over it, and I actually really enjoyed listening to this on audio. I feel like one of the things I struggle with romance books is the dialogue. And there's something about reading romance dialogue versus watching it on screen that's different. Like, somehow it feels cheesy and worse in a book. And with listening to the audio, I feel like as much as we maybe didn't love the accents, I thought he did a really good job with the intonation and like bringing that story to life. So I actually liked the audiobooks. I am in a minority, apparently. So I'm going to continue listening to them for the rest of the for the rest of the series, I think, also because it's been easier to get them that way. So I will check back once I watch the show and let you know my thoughts. And if you have read any of these, let me know what you thought, or if you have other romance recommendations. I have no room on my TBR, but I'd love to hear from you anyways.